Matt, you are running for a political office, and I'm curious to know why you're running. It's a tough game.
I appreciate the question. We really need to create a fresh voice, a fresh perspective on politics. We need to have more of an inclusive atmosphere so that we can get more participation. Right now, there is low turnouts at the poll. There's hard lines being drawn. There's no cooperation. There's nothing but stalemates in politics right now. And we keep going down the same roads and not listening. We need to change that. We need to be more inclusive. We need to really listen to everyone and make sure that we have the best opportunity for, on the educational side, the best opportunity for the kids and supporting the teachers. On the economic side, we need to really support our local businesses, our small businesses, create an advantageous framework for large industries to come in with high-paying jobs. But if we stay in this stalemate structure, we're never going to be able to provide those opportunities.
How would you get people included in this process?
We need to make sure that we're better listeners as senators and representatives than we are at preaching our own platform. We really need to make sure that people have the opportunity to get in touch with us and to be heard. It's not just my way or the highway. So that's what's going to get people involved and want to participate.
Apparently you are very keen on education.
Mm-hmm.
What are you hearing teachers tell you? You're talking about listening.
I hear that there's not enough support. I hear that there's not enough faith that they can get the job done. Their hands are tied. They're not able to really get in the classroom and teach the kids. All these kids learn differently, but the fact is they can learn. But the teacher is the one that's going to be able to do that for the students, not the government, not the standard, not the tests. So we really have to get off of the higher end of the government telling them what to do and really have faith that they know what they're doing and they can get in there and create the inspiration for the kids to learn.
It's very interesting to hear what you're saying about education because I am a high school teacher and I see some of these problems where we have to stick with the curriculum. But how would you change the system of the standards? How would you go about doing that?
Well, what we have to do is localize a lot of the decision makings to our own level of government, meaning, the national Common Core shouldn't be dictating what happens in Bartow County. The people of Bartow County, Cherokee County, all over the state, they know what their kids need. And that's really what's going to change the educational structure, is empowering our local governments and our local school boards to be able to do that.
Right now, a lot of school boards are having to, like you alluded to earlier, the Common Core curriculum, which is a federal plan. But your plan, you would like to see doing away with the Common Core and have something more local.
The philosophy in my mind is good, that it's a standard for everyone, but it's become vanillized.
Yeah.
It's not aggressive. It's not pushing the kids to the next level. It's a one-size-fits-all situation. If you go and try to buy a baseball hat that says one size fits all, it never fits. And that's all that the Common Core is going to do, is it fits one type of student. Okay. So there's aspects of the year where the classroom may be ahead. So the teacher would then have the opportunity to bring the next set of curriculum in, but they can't do that right now.
That's right.
So if the classroom's behind, it goes the opposite. They've got to skip some stuff or push it through, and now what have you really done for learning the material? Nothing.
Have you seen this happen? And because that is what's happening. I know
that is what's happening because I'm listening to what people are wanting to say. They're trying to put their voice out there, and no one wants to listen.
I'm wondering if you could tell me, if you could connect education to the economic development. One reason why it's so important for children to learn things is because
The reality is that economic development can't happen without education. Education won't work without economic development. I really believe they go hand in hand. To bring in great businesses, to fulfill the needs of small businesses, we're going to need to have the labor force ready to participate in that. We're going to need kids that are going to technical schools and ready for service jobs. Also in economic development, we really want to make sure that the framework for these businesses has a clear path to succeed and not be bogged down by red tape and not be bogged down by overshadowing government.
You are a businessman, so you know what it's like to be in the trenches and employ people and worry about your employees, I'm sure.
It's an ongoing thing, and the reality is I am a businessman. We do employ over 100 people. I understand what it's like to sign the front of the check and the back of the check. You know, what goes on for the employees and the small business owners alike. And that's a world that we all need to live and work in together, and we have to assist that framework so where it's advantageous for everybody.
You've been in business for a while at your young age, but it sounds you're very savvy about business. How will your business experience be translated into being a legislator?
Great. That's a great question, and the reality is it's very easy. Business and government can be run the same way. You got to have the right person to do that, though. What I'm planning on doing is, once elected, is go down with the same open door policy that I have in business. You got to be accessible and accountable to the people that you work with and work for you at the same time. I have to be accountable and accessible to the voters and to my constituents as well. Those are the simple business practices that make you great on the local level in town. And then on the governmental side of it, you know, whether the voter has a great idea or not, they need that fresh voice too, and they need to know that you've heard that voice from them. So you have to be open, you have to be accountable, and you have to be accessible to the people of your district.
Sounds to me like the people who need to listen are the ones who are sitting in those seats in the legislature in Atlanta. You're not a lone voice, are you?
No, I think there's a lot of people that go down with the right intentions, and then they get down there and something changes, or they realize that they can't do it on their own. And that's where sticking to your morals and really listening to your district is very important. If you listen to your district and you take care of your district, you're going down to Atlanta to bring their voice, not to bring your agenda to Atlanta, and that's the difference. So I believe if I can maintain the accessibility, the accountability for the people of the district, I feel like I have the voice and the perspective to do that.